Okay, so welcome all. Welcome to Financial Fitness Program. My name is Samir Bapat, and today we are going to learn about fundamental analysis of two great companies. One is Astral, and second is Happiest Mind. Uh, Today, like I was telling, today is a very exciting day for me because today two participants from our beginners program, they have done the analysis of these two companies, and these are very good companies. That is point number one. These are very good companies. Second, point number two is why it is very exciting for me is the analysis they have done is a really professional grade analysis. It is as good as any professional, any banker's report. I can challenge, if any of you can pick up any report from any banker which they send as an expert's report, and you can match it with the report with what they have made with all their hard work of 1 to 2 weeks, it is as good as that. The quality is so good. Third point is these are good companies. So post the session, once you go through this, whatever they are presenting, you can also analyze on the same lines, and then you can take investment decision. Because we are having a lot of correction in the market, post the market subsides, post the correction subsides, you can have a decent entries in this stock. So this can, you can always keep in your watch list, basis this analysis, and plan for investing in coming days. Are you all excited to know more about these companies? Can I have yes from all of you if you want to know more about these companies? You want to go more in detail about these companies? Yes. Okay, great. Just to tell you, these companies have given 300% in last 1 year. Okay. And it is not that since they have given 300% in last 1.5 years that they will not be able to give. We have to identify good companies, and then as they progress, we can buy the share, and we'll also be able to progress. Okay. So fundamental analysis, coming to fundamental analysis, the way the analysis is done is we analyze the past, what they have been doing, have they been doing in a decent way, have they been working in a decent way, what is their present, and what is likely future, what is the likely future, and why we are bullish about these companies because of upcoming future. So without taking any more time, I would hand over to Mr. Ramaswamy Iyer. He will be presenting the Astral company. Brief introduction: he is retired. He has been a banker. He has been doing investing for quite many years now. He has experience, a lot of experience in stock market, and he has done this analysis. To over to him.
Uh,
Okay.
thanks, sorry.
Yeah, you can go ahead and share your screen. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Samirji. Uh, yeah. Okay. Uh, Now, before I started this exercise of doing the balance sheet analysis of Astral Limited, I had a wrong perception about the company. Am I audible?
Yeah, very much. You are loud and clear.
Okay. Before I started analyzing this balance sheet of this particular company, that is Astral Limited, I had a wrong perception of the company. I was under the impression that it is only manufacturing of PVC pipes only required for the agriculture sector. It is only when I started pouring through the balance sheet did I realize it is much more than that. The very basic thing is that it is basically a company into manufacture of PVC and fittings to UPVC pipes. Apart from that, they have also diversified into the area of adhesives and sealants, and more recently into the water tank business, manufacture of PVC water tanks. This was something of a news to me. So the first and foremost study, I mean, what to say, the first and foremost lesson that I learned on reading this balance sheet is that don't go by a perception, go by facts and figures. That is one aspect. Secondly, coming to this company as a thing, it is it's in fact it's in operation for quite many years by now, and I found that the pipe section caters, or the entire business caters not only to agriculture sector but also to industries, real estate, and real estate industries and agriculture. So it is not industry specific. So in future, going ahead, if any one sector has a problem, they will be able to cover up in some certain other areas of operation. So that is one positive feature that they have. So it is not. So that is one very general what to say. What we expect in future is just generalization.
So they are pretty much diversified into multiple sectors, so that if some ups and downs, they can go through the ups and downs if any comes to any sector, right?
Yeah, they will be able to take care of the eventuality. That is one aspect.
One thing, can I suggest, if possible, can you zoom it little bit? I don't know whether people from mobile, one more level higher, if possible.
Let me see. I'm not very sure about it.
View. Go to view and zoom in, or otherwise, okay, you can go ahead. No problem.
Let me see. Wait 1 minute.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You go ahead. Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If that will be okay. 1 minute.
Yeah. That is good. That is great.
Okay. Now the second aspect is now coming to the working part of it. I have observed from the last 4 or 5 years of its going through the figures, it is increasing. This gross sales is increasing on an year-to basis and quarter-to-quarter, which of course is a good trend. It's not that it's having a graph of up and down. Some of the sales in the year 2020-21 was something like 3176 crores, as against 2578 crores in 2019-20. If you go on a 5-year CAGR, it is almost 11.2% rise. Similarly, quarter-to-quarter sales is also increasing, except for one quarter in a particular year, when maybe because of weather conditions or for whatever it is, it could not match that quarter-to-quarter progress. That is one aspect. So also, even in gross profit and net profit, or net profit before tax and net profit in absolute terms, has been on an increase on year-to-year basis. Moreover, even after profit after tax has also increased by 32.3% in the 5-year CAGR. This has shown. Now, another thing is that the profitability is also increased. The readings that I have mentioned there here in the screen, on the screen rather, is something erroneous. There is some mistake in that, so I apologize for that. It's just a mistake. It is not actual figure. There is some. It is on a rise.
Okay, fine. 18% is also good, even if it is erroneous on the lower side. 18% is good.
No, it is on the higher side. It doesn't slip down to 18% also. Okay, that's it. Similarly, if you go by ROCE and ROE, both have given a fairly comfortable returns on capital employed and equity, both of it. And another feature of this company is the low debt equity ratio. It is only 0.04, which is as good as a debt-free company.
Okay, great.
So, from a perspective of say the market competition, they are bound to have an upper hand, because their cost of funds are very limited. I mean, it's reduced to that extent as compared to the peers. Now, regarding inventory turnover, which was inventory turnover number of days, 124 days in 2019-20, has gone down to 88 days in 2021, indicating faster movement of finished products, maybe because of their sales promotion or higher demand, whatever be the reason. In the net analysis, their finished goods are moving very fast. Similarly, debtor recovery. It's at a level of 32 days for the last two financial on a constant basis. So they are in a position to get the whatever the money due to them on a time specific period without getting over delayed. It has come down from 65%, 65 days a year back. That is 2016, it was to 65 days, which is now last 2 years constantly it's having a figure of 32 days. That itself good.
I just pause you and just like put it in a very different way. The points, whatever has been covered, and the most important point, what we are seeing, of course, ROC, profit growth, sales growth, and return on equity, that has been a fantastic in this company. But what very good thing which is coming out is inventory turnover and debtor days. Okay, inventory turnover, it will be company to company, right? Inventory turnover is company to company, but what we have to see is the company improving? Yes, inventory, it's a inventory days actually.
Yeah.
Kailash is saying inventory days, I think it is 124 to 88, which is a fantastic thing. And even collection of money from their customers. See, any company which is collecting the money earlier than their customer, like they have reduced from 65 days to 32 days. That means they are able to collect money in 32 days, which is a fantastic thing. That means they are having a better grip on the market and on the customers. Great, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Now coming back to the next topic is credited days. Now, credited days have also gone down from 106 days to in 2019-20 to 96 days, that which is in par with the earlier 2 years before 2019-20. So maybe one off year was there wherein there was some delayed payment, but subsequently they have come back to their normal level of credited days. So they are able to pay back in 96 days. Now, another thing is capacity utilization. This is one gray area I found. I may be wrong. I couldn't get more details about this. But the range of capacity utilization is in the range of 50 to 70% of the installed capacity for the last 5 financial years. And during the year 2020, that is 2021, it was something around 57%. I only wish I could get more information about this, because this somehow a bit of a jittery position, the sense that if at all they're only having a 57% capacity utilization, then hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
One minute.
It's a good sign. If they are having a 57 to 70% of capacity utilization, it's a good sign, because they don't have to expand, and they can as well increase their production capacity, like sales, they can increase without being dependent on production capacity, which is a good thing, and it is correct.
Okay. Yeah. And now coming to cash flow, yeah. I think there's something wrong with the transmission. So I'll go ahead with my, I'll just explain to you vocally only.
Okay.
Because I don't think whether you'll be able, whether you are able to see this.
Yeah, we are able to see your screen. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, very good. Then in that case, I'll go ahead. The other point is cash flow. Now, I studied the cash flow, but I could not find any abnormality in that. In the sense, in many of the companies, it so happens that the profit is on account of some sale of some non-core business, or for that matter, some real estate or some other asset sale features into it. But in this particular case, I could not find any abnormality, and the net cash flow is on an increasing trend. The expected growth of the sector. Now, at least the Indian pipe industry, the growth is expected to reach 550 to 550 billion by the year 2025, growing at a CAGR of 10%, which is from the current level of 290 to 300 billion. That is almost a 40% rise. So the future is also good for the not only for this particular company, but all those companies were operating in this line of business. The company, as I said, it has already gone into backward integration. That from pipe they have forayed into the adhesives and sealants, and now recently, very recently, they have gone into the field of manufacturing and supply of plastic bottle storage tanks. All this augurs well for the company, as at least on paper. Let's see how it goes about in future. Now, future growth of business, they have been expanding their infrastructure. With the infrastructure projects taking, taking up in a great way, kicking in a great way. During the financial year 2021, they expended almost 1673 million in capex, and in the next financial year, they 1,500 million capacity. They're going to have an investment of it in capex, and they have proposed to add 3 more manufacturing facilities in the year 2022. Now, they already have about 12 manufacturing facilities in India and abroad, 9 in India, and if I'm not mistaken, 3 abroad. So, and that is also located at various parts of the country. So there, in a way, if you go to look at it, the transportation costs will also go down. If they are able to cater to a particular area as such, then the transportation cost will come down, which will give them advantage, at least when competing with other peers. Okay, that part of it. Then, as I said, it has got 12 manufacturing.
Yeah, you can scroll on the page a little bit. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so the plus points for this particular unit is that it has been adding new products to their existing list on a continuous basis. One, the sales, revenue, profits are all increasing on a year-to basis, almost almost on a straight line, that is without any ups and downs. So with the result, the future looks very good. On the flip side, as I said, the debt equity ratio is almost 0.04, which is as good as a good debt-free company. So the cost of funds is reducing. In all, they have a very good future, very positive future. But going through the balance sheet, I couldn't find any mention of litigations or areas of that nature. So with the result, I presume that there's not be much into it, so that that they would affect the company general financial position of the company in near future. And even if at all is necessary, as in the course of business, they have a robust reserves with them, almost. So with the result, they'll be able to take care of any eventuality that may arise, even if it happens. The only negative feature I personally presume is that the impact of government changes in the government policy, basically because this company has got PVC as a raw material, and they have to get the PVC and granules, I think, if I'm not mistaken, from other suppliers. If there are any environmental issues affecting either the suppliers or this particular company for any reason, maybe this company may be able to tide over the difficulty, but the supply of raw materials is affected, then possibly there might be some sort of a problem that they may encounter. But this is just, we can't be sure about it because it's a government policy. We don't know about it as of now.
Yeah.
These are the basic, based on my reading of balance sheet, these are the positive features. Now, I'll slightly go off the record and say, true, it is as an investor, how do you look at it? Which I have not covered into. And while going through the analysis, I found that the P ratio of this company shares is very high. It is almost in the range of 80-85%.
Sorry, come again. I missed that part.
The P ratio. Profit to earning a ratio is almost very high. Actually, the optimum should be up to 15 to 18 or 80 over 18 or 20%, it is overpriced. Shares are overpriced.
Yes.
But this is something like 85, and amongst the peers also, for a company of this capacity utilization and level of working, this is on a very higher side. So whether as an investor you go for it or not would depend on an individual choice. If you're thinking of a growth-based thinking, then possibly you said yes, I might accept it because it's going to grow in future. At this rate, then I'll be able to make it up.
Great analysis.
If you're a value-based investor.
Please. Sorry.
So that's my internet connection is unstable. That's the problem.
Anyway,
this is what I had to.
Okay, no, go ahead. Yeah.
So this is what I have worked out. There may be some shortcomings here and there. Please excuse me for that.
No, perfect. So thanks a lot for a fantastic analysis. How many of you liked the analysis? Can we have some? If you found that this was a very good analysis, type V, excellent, whatever you feel. Great. So everyone liked the analysis very much. Now, some more background to this analysis. Now, see what is like he said. Lastly, he said a very important thing. How many of you have heard about Nal Se Jal Pariyojana? Anyone heard about Government of India's Nal Se Jal? Yes. Right. Nal Se Jal is nothing but water from the tap. And this current government is focusing on water from the taps for each village, each city, everywhere. Now, there are not much companies in the scenario. APL Apollo tubes, APL tubes is there. Har Ghar Nal Se Jal. Yes. So there are very few companies in this domain. So this is one of the very good companies and fundamentally strong companies, which is positioned, which is doing backward integration and everything for catering to that. Yes, of course, 2024, we don't know how the policies, new government, new policies, but at least for next 2 to 3 years, this company has alignment with the government. Whatever government is thinking, this company is having alignment. So you can go and analyze the peer companies as well. This is also one of the good companies. Like Mr. Iyer said, I agree with him. I'll just take you to the chart. I agree with him. It is little overpriced, though. Like there is nothing like what is overpriced or underpriced, but I also feel that it is little overpriced as of now. It has given almost 300% returns in from 1.5 years. It has given 300% returns. If you are accumulate with little caution, because this is little on the higher side. The price is on the higher side. So first and foremost, I would request you to go and analyze again on your own. Second, accumulation should be with caution because it is little overpriced. So accumulate small, and then as it progresses, as it stabilizes, accumulate. You can, as based on your analysis, you can move forward. So what we will do is, one thing we are going to do now. Okay, I'll allow you to unmute. So I want you all to unmute your mics together, everyone, and we'll say thank you to Mr. Iyer on count of 3. So I'll count 1, 2, 3, and then we'll say thank you, Mr. Iyer. Okay, so I'll just first of all let me allow you to unmute. Everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Iyer.
Thank you,
Mr. Iyer. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, guys.
Thanks a
Hello.
lot.
So you can count now.
Hello.
Thank you,
Mr. Iyer.
Samir, please count. I'm waiting for your count.
Wait for my count. I'm still there. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Go.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ayar.
Mr. Ayar.
Mr. Iyer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ayar.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Iyer.
What we will do is with the solution, I'll forward this analysis
Thank you, Ayar.
to the groups.
Hello, Mr. Iyer.
Okay.
Mr. Iyer, which year you were giving the descriptions?
Hello.
Mr. Iyer,
Yeah.
which year you are giving your analysis? I just joined late.
I was.
Just hold on. I'll mute all, then you two unmute, and then we'll discuss. Okay.
Mr.
Yeah.
Iyer, Mr. Iyer, good evening. Mr. Iyer, good evening.
Santosh, your voice is echoing too much. Actually. Okay.
Am I audible? Am I audible, sir?
What we will do is we'll go through one more analysis. The next analysis is from Himja on Happiest Minds. We'll go through her analysis. Again, a fantastic company.
Yeah.
Then-
Yeah.
Okay, so just hold on. Okay, so Himja, please, can you unmute yourself? Okay, great. Can you share your screen? Himja, can you share your screen? Okay. Okay. So before Himja goes ahead with her analysis of Happiest Mind, a brief introduction about Himja. She is a production manager. She is an engineer by education. She has started in stock market recently, if I'm right. Yes. Hello. Himja, we cannot hear you. Your voice is not coming.
Am I audible now, sir?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you are audible now. Okay. So she is a production manager, engineer by background, and she is a beginner, but she has done a fantastic analysis of Happiest Mind. And this is another technology where the government of India is having a big focus. This is one area where the government, so it's exactly opposite side of the spectrum. One, we went to the basic infrastructure, and this is the another end of spectrum where government of India is also focusing a lot right now. So she will take us through her analysis, and post that we will have discussion on that. Yeah, over to you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. This is the report for Happiest Minds. Actually, this is an IT company which is specialized in digital transformation, infrastructure, security, and product engineering solutions like IoT, Internet of Things, cloud computing, big data analytics, process automation, robotics, and some other fields. Actually, this is ranked among the top 25 best companies in India. And coming to the sales growth, it's 3 years compounded sales growth. If you see, it's 20%, and for 5 years it is 17%. The profit growth is, for 3 years it is 109%, and for 5 years it is 115%. This looks positive because year on year it is increasing. And coming to the debtor days, in 2020, it was taking, the company was able to give in 83 days, but in the year 2021, it was about 85 days. But it's not a big difference. Okay. It looks stable. Yeah. Inventory days, since it is a software company, and we couldn't get much details about this.
So there is no inventory turnover as such. It's
the raw materials. They'll not be dealing with the raw materials.
Any inventory days for that.
And ROC for the year 20 is 28.9%. For the financial year 21, it is 31.2%. 2%, and that is increasing. ROE, return on equity, is for the financial year 20 is 27.1, and for 21 it is 30%. There also they have increased gradually. And inventory turnover, again, it's not applicable for this business. Again, this two parameters also, since it's a software company, so it's not applicable. And future expansion, they're trying to expand the customer base and new sales to the existing customers. In particular, they are planning to continue to make investments to enhance the expertise of sales and marketing in their field, like edutech, high tech, and BFSI, industrial manufacturing, like process automation, and all those things they are looking into. And coming to the expenditure, that actually this has decreased. Expenditure has decreased from the year 22 financial year 21, mainly because of the travel costs which were reduced due to the COVID this thing, and other facility costs. And in cash flow, there are three categories, like operating cash flow from operating activity, and from investing activity, and from financing activity. In operating activity, they have increased, like from 113 crore in the year 22, 150 crore in the year 21. From the investing activity, it has increased drastically from 74 crore to 84 crore, almost more than 100 crores they are investing in. This is because they are investing majorly into mutual funds and in acquiring some smaller companies. And financing activity, it is this also has increased from 13 crores to 169 crores. Expected growth rate for the sector. As per CRISIL, they are expecting the IT sector to see a growth rate of 11%. And Happiest Minds founder, Mr. Ashok, is predicting that this company will grow with a CAGR of 20%. And value addition to the customers from core businesses, like they are well versed in all the new technologies, even with a smaller startup setup compared to other competitors. And they're exploring opportunities to the next set of future technologies, and they are acquiring the market for drones or robotics. They're trying to enter into this field. Already they have orders and they're working on that. And why do you think the company will grow in future is because the future is going to be all about digital. And the new technologies are cloud computing, IoT, AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. If we see the expected growth rate of all this, it is 21.45, 14.2, and 55% by the year 2025. Since they are already into this field, and they are supposed to.
This is the projected growth rate, what they are saying.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And motto for the business, it's like 97% of their revenue is from digital services only. So, and the strong client network is like 170 active clients they are having. In that, 27 clients are $1 million clients.
Okay.
And they have got a strong R&D. They are investing much into R&D from almost 1 million to 100 plus millions. They have increased their investment into R&D, and that looks positive. Then coming to the litigations, actually in the annual report they have mentioned like they have received an amount of 212 lakhs from the company OSS Cube LLC through a settlement, and that was signed in April 15, 2020.
They got the money.
If you see as such, yeah, if we see as such, it won't affect the company because they have received this. They are on the receiver side.
Receive the amount and not, they don't have anything to give. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So situations which may impact company adversely is like see, one is geographical risk because 73% of their revenue is from US. If there is any government policies or anything which affect the two countries, it may affect their business. And 14.5% of their revenue is from a single client. This is much higher than the entire revenue generated from the from India itself. From India, they are able to generate 11.8% of revenue, but from a single client from US, they are generating 14.5%. And top 5 clients, they contribute to 33.3% of their revenue. So it's like they're concentrating on a single client or top 5. So, and they have to try to diversify. And other things are common, like high competition from other IT giants like Wipro, TCS, Infosys, and information security risk.
Okay.
Yeah. So after this analysis, what I felt is this company is going to grow big because they are almost into digital technologies. So, and what the area what they are working into is having a good growth factor. So I feel it is that.
Grown and all are having a good chance of growth. Yeah. Great. Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for excellent analysis. How about others? How about others? Was the analysis good? Did you get insight into this company? How would they have been growing? Are you feeling more confidence about the company? Yes. In this, some questions were popping up. So I was just going through the questions. See, there is two things in this. One question which popped up was dependence on one customer is high, and maybe someone might say that they are too much spread out, 170 customers. That is like, it's a upcoming company, right? It's not an established company. It's still upcoming company. They got listed recently and they are establishing themselves in the business also. So they will have like different challenges, but however, still this looks to be a very good company per se. In IT sector, and it has given much better return than TCS. If you see last 1.5 years, TCS has given 100% returns. This company share has given 300% return. And even if the PE value is high, as per my understanding, the company is undervalued. I'll just take you through the chart and then we can have. So just hold on. Okay. So before I take you to the chart and then we take some question answers on that, I'll allow you all to unmute yourself, and then on count of 3, we'll say thank you to Himaja, right? Yeah. Okay. So unmute. Okay. On count of 3. 1.
Thank you, Himja.
Thank you,
Himja.
Thank you, Himja.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Himja.
Thank you, Himaja. You have become.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Himaja.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Himaja. You are a stock market Raja.
Okay. So just before we go to question answer session, this is the chart. I hope everyone can see the chart on your screen, right? Can I have yes if you can see the chart on your screen? Yes. Okay. So as you can see, similar to Astral, again, this Happiest Mind, yes, last year was very good. We have to understand Now, here is one thing what we have to understand is last year was exceptionally good. But the problem with last year is, right? The problem with the last year is that we realized, or many realized, that the last year was fantastic after it became fantastic. How many of you agree that now suddenly looking back, everyone says, yeah, it happened, right? It was a fantastic year. How many of you agree that now many of us realize that, oh, that was a fantastic year? But the problem is, last year was fantastic year. What about the coming year? Correct. I cannot go in past. I cannot go 1 year back in time travel and say, okay, now I know Happiest Mind, Astral, Deepak Nitrite, Dixon, and all. I will invest and earn money, right? After it is fantastic. And that's why we are starting the series of good stocks going forward. We will have, from our participants of our program only, they will be presenting one stock every week. And with that, we will be giving you a collection of good stocks, which you can keep in your list. Okay, I'm not saying go and invest. I'm just suggesting you can go and keep them in your list. Those will be the stocks which are likely to create future. Okay, again, after 2022 end, we don't want to turn back and say, okay, yes, Himja and Mr. Iyer gave us a presentation on 2 good companies. We heard about those companies, never went back and analyzed, or never got ready for buying. So this is something you have to keep in mind and keep in view for coming forward. How you invest, that you have to define your strategy, but these 2 are very good stocks. Happiest Mind, anyway, it is going down. It's below 50-day moving average. Don't jump in, let it turn around, let it start going up above the 50-day moving average, then start thinking of accumulating. That is one thing. So don't jump, okay, Happiest Mind acha dikh raha hai, we will buy it. No, wait for it to sort of bottom out, make a steady upward movement above the 50-day moving average, then think of accumulating. Astral, it is little overvalued. I think so. It's like, it is better around 2000. So let it cool down, let it go sideways till it cools down, and then you can think of accumulating more. So if you, so Pawan, you can get in touch with me separately. I'll tell you what to do if you're holding. Okay, so with that, we'll go to the question answer sessions. Okay, any questions? Anyone having any questions? Yeah, okay, Sachin. Okay, I'll allow you to unmute. Yeah, Sachin, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good evening, Samir. First of all, thank you for bringing this new concept to our sessions. I think it's quite informative and interesting. So I have a question regarding Happiest Mind, because, you know, I'm one who burns finger in that, because so I was going through Happiest Mind and I've studied a lot of insights apart what just our one of participants shared. What I've observed is in Happiest Mind, if you see, there is a reduction in the holding by domestic institutional investors, about 2%. And there is not subsequent any substantial increase by FFIs in past 6 to 7 months. So, and also, I mean, although the concept of the company is good, but right now the kind of debate going on, if you see after Paytm flop and the recent one, today one issue which has been listed. So all these are the, I think the software firms, and what we need is with your knowledge and can you guide us, is it the right valuation? Because the issue price was 351 and in less than 1 year they touched 1500. Just because the brand name, I mean, what we heard in common corridors, just because of the brand name of Mr. Ashok Soota. So is this the right valuation? Because we are studying it through chart, and I bought it somewhere around at least at 1300 something. And then once it goes below 50 DEMA, so I exited because I thought there is no point. So I saved my money there.
Yes.
But what is the guidance for such kind of stocks? Like, today we are having so many in them now.
See, guidance is one is what we have typically gone through the see past, present, and future. Only three things we can analyze. Past looks good for this company. Forget FII, DII. Sometimes what happens is companies goes out of flavor because of various reasons. So FII, DIIs are not the criteria which we look at. I'll give you a very classic example. Dixon Technology in 2019, FII, DII were not having any substantial stake in that.
Okay.
Suddenly but the company was doing decently, growth rate was okay, and it was as per parameter. Suddenly they started looking at it. So they also have their fund managers, their own priorities. So we'll not give too much weightage to FII, DIS. What we have to see is, okay, this company past profit growth and everything is okay. Technology, let's say, for example, it is in tune with whatever is required in future.
Correct.
Right. Now, third thing is, very rightly, when it started going down, you exited with a loss, which is a very right thing to do when you exited there. Right. Now, sometimes we don't know from the fundamental analysis, we don't know what is going wrong, why it is going down, because it was in sideways movement for quite some time now, 4 to 5 months. Now it is going down, and with the chart looks like it is in a downtrend for sure.
Correct.
Right. So if you see, no doubt, where is the ray? Okay. So if you see, there is no doubt that it is in a downtrend. Okay. So now as an investor, what we should do? One is, we have identified this company. Okay. Now what we will do is, we will wait for it to turn around. So let's say I have drawn this downtrend. We have 50 DMA, or you can take a downtrend.
Right.
Now what you have to do is, see, this is how the behavior will happen. It will go down, it will come here, then it will start forming a W. First indication of a turnaround.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how it will form a W. Maybe one more, a higher bottom it might form going forward. Once it breaks this trend line, it might start going sideways here. Now we know, if you know the company, will not jump into buying this company. Let it stabilize. Let it form the first W here. You can see the W, right? I can.
Correct. Yes. Yes. I mean, head and shoulder bottom.
Let it peacefully form a reversal pattern, maybe a double bottom, triple bottom, or some consolidation triangle, something. Let it form. Right now it's purely in downtrend. We don't know why. Because charts will always tell you in advance. So let it go down, let it declare. Maybe quarterly results, we come to know that it was not so good. We are out, cash is with us. Let it form a bottom. Then again, we go visit their fundamentals. If the fundamentals are still good, we buy and then ride the wave. So patience is the second key. One is the analysis. Second is the patience. We'll wait patiently for it to turn around. Once it turns around, then we will go and buy. So that's why we mix technical and fundamental. Fundamentally, we have selected the stocks. Technically, it has not given a signal to enter. We will wait patiently for it to bottom out and start going up. Then we'll buy.
Fine. So we would have this company in our radar, but we have to observe for the right time to enter.
Let the charts tell us, okay, now charts will tell us that all bad news, whether it has gone away or not. Right now it's in downtrend. It is having some bad news. We don't know. It is not in news. It is not printed, but chart is telling us it is going down. We keep our money with ourselves. We don't do anything. Let it bottom out. Then we'll.
Fair enough.
Okay. Great suggestion.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else would like to ask or add anything in this?
Hi, Samir. This is Ramakrishna here.
Yeah, Ramakrishna.
Sir, you told me sometime back the markets are volatile and be little cautious. I have not been I've only been selling what is coming to the profits, 10%, 12%, etc. But rest time, even they are negative, I'm just holding on. I've not been buying for the last maybe 15 days to 1 month. So what do you think is right? We should still need to wait for some more time, or we can do regular RSI moving average.
You can still do RSI moving average. Whichever good company shows strength, you can still buy. See, the market will not tell and go up. We have to keep a watch. See, like I told here in Happiest Mind, right? Right now, stock is telling us it is going down. Once it starts turning up, it will tell us I'm turning up. We have to keep monitoring and ride the wave as it starts going up. Yes, you have to buy as the indicators or your analysis says, okay, yes, it has turned around and going up. Only thing, my only appeal to everyone is don't catch falling knives. People average when it is going down, which I am very much against. Let me be very honest. I am very much against people who average when it is falling. Let it fall properly. Let it go. Let it bottom out. Let it tell us that, okay, I'm turning around, then buy it.
Only breakouts, sir.
Only breakouts, because that is when stock is telling us that, okay, I'm going up, because I don't know what is the bottom, right? So, and honestly, why I am saying so, because that may be my limitation, and that I am assuming is limitation of many people. We are not from a solid commerce background. We are not CAs, right? I am engineer, Injay is engineer. Majority have done from other backgrounds. We are not CA or for us to know exactly what price it is the right price to buy, it is very difficult. So we take help of chart. Let the chart tell us, okay, it is turning around.
So in any market condition, the chart says RSI or moving RSI says going up, it's okay to buy.
Yes, yes. Any market, any instrument.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Sameer sir, could you please tell us which are the stocks that we can keep in watch list, like maybe around 5 or 6 stocks, please?
Yeah, it's coming up. So we had Mind Astral. Next week we will have 2 more, and we'll have series, so that market is stabilizing right now. We will have a series of some 3 to 4 weeks. We will have by the December end. We will have some list of good stocks, 8 to 10 stocks.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, good evening, sir. Hello.
Yeah, your voice is coming little crackling actually.
Sir, actually Paytm के बारे में just आप कंप्लीट बता दीजिए ना सर.
Paytm का क्या बात करेंगे?
It is just started. 600 point cross हो गया, and it is right now hovering around 1400.
No, I don't. I really don't know. Like, I don't invest into IPOs. First of all, I don't know how. Like, it's a lottery system basically, and the people, if they get lottery, they are earning, and what I would say, okay, I'll not discuss on Paytm. What I would say is, if you are a retail investor, if you are putting in IPO, don't apply on the first hour of the IPO. As soon as the IPO opens, it opens for 1 or 2 to 3 days or 4 days maximum, I think. So don't invest in the first hour. Wait till the last day. If the IPO is oversubscribed, then only subscribe. Otherwise, what has happened is all the retail investors who jumped in on day one, the IPO was not subscribed, and then it crashed. So many got stuck in this. So lesson which I can say, Paytm, I don't know what will happen. It might go down also. But the lessons learned is, as a common investor, don't apply on the day one on the first hour. It does not make any difference. It's a lottery system. They will just put a lottery and give it to you. So whether you apply on the first day or the last day doesn't matter. Apply on the last day. If it is oversubscribed, apply on that, because anyway you are going and buying a lottery ticket. You are not analyzing it on fundamental or technical basis. You're only buying a lottery ticket. When buying a lottery ticket, at least see there are a lot of participation.
Yeah, Sameer.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
Yeah, please.
Yes. Can we check Anything for SAIL, SAIL or Tata Powers?
For chart analysis.
Yeah,
Let
something
us
like that.
complete the question on happiest mind and Astral, then we'll go.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Okay. So any other question on happiest mind you would like to ask Himja or Mr. Iyer?
So, Mahavir here, a question.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much, first of all, sharing this wonderful session. Question related to happiest mind is because we also have some other companies, for example, Latent View is there are also Fractal, Mu Sigma. There are some other companies which are in the pipeline with respect to IPOs. They are also into this business now. Looking at the other players, because at least when I'm working with some of the client, if I see their business, everybody more or less trying to project themselves as a new age company when it's talking about AI analytics and drones and all the things what you're saying. But even if you look at the happiest mind, there are certain portion of their business is coming from the traditional business IT services. So I think it's at certain extent it depends on the how you're projecting or how you're marketing this thing into the. How can you find out that this company, when it is saying they are really into the AI or this part, versus I also have I know other companies, be TCS or Infosys, they are also doing certain part there. So how to weight those things? Both are saying no, we are also into the new age business and etc. etc. So how to make that decision? So that's my question. So one is the comparing happiest mind with the existing big player, which they are also saying they are into that business, and there are few other companies who are saying they are into going to that.
I agree. So that's why we are analyzing past, present, and future. So future we don't know, right? Future, like you said, everyone is saying I'll do wonders in the future. Okay, so I don't know what is the wonderful they are going to do, but what you have.
Hello, sir.
Just hold on, please. See,
sorry to disturb, but I am from Zoom Communications Private Limited, and there is an issue in your meeting link. Can I continue?
Yeah. What is the issue? Hello.
Actually, my manager has sent me, and he's saying that few people are trying to DDoS your meeting link. So I will just ask you to ask everybody to leave the meeting and create another meeting.
Or they are like trying to hack the people's laptop, is it?
Yes, sir. Like, because there are many participants, more than 150 participants, the link is being shared everywhere. So many people will join now if you don't end the meeting and start another one.
No, but why are people hacking? Or because I have license for 500 people, so it should not matter, right?
No, sir. Yeah, like people are hacking into a meeting link.
People are hacking into meeting. Okay, fine.
Samir, it is a DDoS attack kind of a thing. That means you have multiple resources,
thanks a lot for
multiple
informing.
people joining in.
Okay, so we will end the call. Maybe next Thursday we'll start again. Okay. So great. Thanks a lot. Thank you for joining. See you on the coming Thursday with a new topic. Thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Amir.